All right. Well, I just realized I didn't change the title of today's news segment, but that's okay. We will make a couple quick shares here. We're going to get into it this morning. Y'all are with me? Just bear with me a couple of moments here, please. Just going to make these posts really quick, and we will be on our way. Crazy day, crazy Saturday. Lots going on, of course, as always. Some exciting news we're going to be touching on here. Then, I think what we need to do. Put that in there. We pretty much good to go. All right, let's do this.
You are watching Chaos Crypto News, the crypto news that you need to know.
What's cracking, everybody? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Chaos Crypto News here. We're going to touch on a wide variety of topics today. First, before we get started, I just want to mention this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Don't trust, verify. Trust is a dirty word. If you haven't jumped in yet, make sure you head over to quantzilla.online. You might need to put www. in front of that, but join our Telegram, check out our documentation, and get paid to raid. Also, verify our coin addresses there because we do have impersonators, so we don't want you to get scammed. Also, feel free to check out my YouTube for more crypto content. I got some crypto game stuff, some scam investigations, XEC or Cardano deep dives, interviews, more news segments, and a whole lot of other stuff. You can find me at KhaosDubz. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and follow. Also, make sure you head over to Deck Screener and hit that lovely rocket as we are on our way to the moon. First off, I just want to quickly touch on the XRP chart here. As you can see, XRP is making some moves here. We are moving up pretty good here. Not going to spend too much time here, but I mean, let's just see here kind of where we're moving up. We're up almost 20% basically, so that's a pretty good gain, and we're going to touch on this throughout today's episode here. Right into it. So this is for the Canadians out there. Obviously, I'm from Canada, and so is the Quantzilla team. So some exciting stuff here. Bitcoin ETFs get $2 million boost from National Bank of Canada. The National Bank of Canada has ventured boldly into the realm of cryptos. The bank has made $2 million investments in Bitcoin ETFs, changing the way conventional finance views digital assets. This choice emphasizes the evolving scene of controlled crypto investments and the increasing institutional curiosity in Bitcoin. The National Bank of Canada decided on ETFs instead of directly purchasing Bitcoin, and I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. By means of Bitcoin ETFs, one can invest in Bitcoin free from the complications of direct ownership, including security of private keys or navigating crypto exchanges. Regarding the reception of Bitcoin ETFs, Canada is setting a benchmark. The action of the National Bank of Canada is in line with those of other big multinational companies like as BlackRock, which lately started the iShares Bitcoin Trust in the US. And this is just kind of building on to that last article there. So Canadian and UK banks invest over 280 million in Bitcoin ETFs. The Bank of Montreal, BMO, one of Canada's largest banks, allocated 150 million to spot Bitcoin ETFs. According to a filing with the US SEC, BMO's largest holding is BlackRock's IBIT, accounting for $139 million in its total investment. The remaining $11 million is spread across ARK21 Shares Bitcoin ETF, Fidelity-Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, and Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. On the other side of the Atlantic, UK-based Barclays Bank has also entered the crypto ETF sector, revealing $131 million in holdings in BlackRock's IBIT. Exciting stuff, bullish news, folks. Now, apparently, Javier Milei endorsed Libra token crashes after $107 million insider rug pull. Insider wallets started cashing out just 3 hours after the token was launched, erasing over $4 billion from its market cap. The launch of Libra, a crypto endorsed by Argentine President Javier Milei, turned into a financial catastrophe after insiders cashed out over $107 million, wiping out nearly 94% of the token's value within hours. According to on-chain intelligence firm Look On-Chain, at least 8 wallets linked to the Libra team siphoned liquidity from the token, pocketing 57.6 million USD and 249,671 Solana, worth almost $50 million. The Libra token briefly rose to a peak market cap of $4.56 billion at 10:30 p.m. UTC on February 14th, before falling over 94% to the current $257 million market cap in just 11 hours since the token debuted for trading on decentralized exchanges, as DEX Screener data shows. The token's rally began shortly after a now-deleted X post from President Milei, which shared a website and token contract address for Libra, which was a private project dedicated to encourage the growth of the Argentine economy. After the token's collapse, Milei deleted his endorsement, later issuing a statement on X blaming political opponents. It's always somebody else's fault, right? You know how that goes. Now, a crypto trader's $17.6 million Libra meme coin win raises questions on insider trading. So, is this tied into the president there, or is this just a coincidence? I mean, I don't think anything's a coincidence these days, but, who really knows? It is suspicious, though. A legendary crypto trader known as LeBron has done it again, another massive win in the meme coin market with a staggering $17.6 million in total profits. His latest trade on Libra alone brought in $4.56 million. His ability to spot meme coin trends before they explode has made him one of the most closely watched traders in the space. But here's the catch. His repeated early moves on skyrocketing tokens have sparked debate. Is LeBron just incredibly skilled, or does he have an inside edge that others don't? LeBron has built a strong reputation for spotting profitable meme coins before they take off. He first made $8.9 million from Melania and later earned $3.2 million from Trump, which we'll talk about a little later here. LeBron spent 25 SOL, which is about $5,000, to buy 128.8 million Harry Bulls tokens soon after Elon Musk changed his profile name to Harry Bulls, triggering a price surge. As the token's value jumped to roughly 2.5 cents, LeBron sold 109 million tokens for 3,650 SOL, roughly $740,000. Even after cashing out, he still holds 18.97 million Harry Bulls, worth about $277,000. LeBron's latest big win came from trading the Libra token, adding another $4.5 million to his earnings. His ability to spot early trends and make quick moves keeps him ahead of the market. But is it smart trading or is it insider edge? His repeated early investments in tokens that later surge have led to speculation about possible insider connections. While his track record is impressive, some traders remain skeptical. Does he simply have a sharp eye for the trends, or is there more happening behind the scenes? Let me know in the comments what you think. Now, a Las Vegas man has been accused of running a $24 million crypto-linked Ponzi scheme. I mean, we've been covering a whole bunch of scams in the last few episodes here, and it's just so rampant, it's crazy. I mean, part of mass adoption is going to be, regulation and security, and it really needs to happen. Also, things need to get easier for your average person to use, but let's dig into this a little bit here. So, a U.S. regulator has charged a Las Vegas man with allegedly defrauding over 400 investors out of $24 million through a misleading AI-driven crypto mining scheme, falsely promising lucrative fixed returns and 100% money-back guarantee. 100% money-back guarantee? Come on. I mean, when things don't sound right or it sounds too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true, folks. Mr. Cover allegedly stole victims' hard-earned money by making false representations regarding his investment company, including misleading some victims to believe their investments were backed by the FDIC. Brent Cover allegedly deceived investors from late 2017 to July 2021, claiming that his company, Profit Connect, which claims to be an AI company that mines crypto and verifies crypto transactions, offered a fixed annual return of 15 to 30% and 100% money back guarantee. However, he was reportedly using the funds to fund his lavish lifestyle. Kovar used a website, a YouTube video, and a PowerPoint presentation to persuade customers to invest in his firm. He is facing 12 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of mail fraud, and 3 counts of money laundering. He faces a maximum statutory penalty of 330 years in prison and a fine of up to $4.5 million if convicted. Now, this comes amid a growing number of crypto-linked Ponzi schemes. On January 27th, Antonia Perez Hernandez, a promoter of the crypto Ponzi scheme 4count, who pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison. Just a few months earlier, in October 2024, an 86-year-old former California attorney was sentenced to 5 years probation and ordered to pay almost $14 million after admitting to carrying out a multi-million-dollar crypto Ponzi. Meanwhile, the FBI's Operation Level Up said it saved potential crypto fraud victims roughly $285 million between January 2024 and January 2025. I was going to do a second article on the Level Up thing there, but I mean, if you're interested, you can go look into it more. I'm trying to cover as much content as possible, so I'm not going to dig too deep into that at the moment. But this kind of touches on some of the scams that are happening, and my highlighting didn't stay, but that's okay. So pig butchering just got smarter. 40% surge shows scammers moving faster and hitting harder. Pig butchering scams surge as AI fuels new fraud tactics. And we kind of talked about this in the last episode as well. But Chainalysis released a report on February 13th detailing the rapid growth of pig butchering scams in 2024. These scams essentially involve fraudsters building trust with victims before stealing their money, and they were the most lucrative forms of crypto fraud last year. Conversely, the average amount deposit to pig butchering scams declined 55% year over year. The combination of lower payment amounts and increased deposits could indicate a change in strategy for pig butchering scams. So, cryptocurrency scams received at least 9.9 billion on chain, and it's estimated to be over 12 billion based on an article in my last video over the next year. And pig butchering scams accounted for over 33% of all scam revenue, second only to high yield investment scams, which made up 50%. So essentially, this goes on to talk about how the scammers are prioritizing volume over large individual payments, allowing them to reach more victims while reducing detection risks. And AI-driven tools have further enabled these operations. So fraudsters are using deepfake identities, automated scam interactions, and fake financial documents. Be careful out there, folks. It's a crazy world that we live in these days. But what a time to be alive. Now, DPN3, the KlueCoin and Goobers NFT founder who gambled away investor funds, is sentenced to 27 months in prison. Austin Michael Taylor, who's 41, pleaded guilty to wire fraud after stealing $1.14 million from KlueCoin investors. After the Clue ICO, Taylor turned his attention towards launching an NFT series, building a Web3 game and metaverse platform. The military veteran, who also went by DPN3, confessed to investors in 2023 that he had lost all their funds gambling online. Not a whole lot more to touch on here, but it's just kind of giving you a broader outlook of like how rampant these scams really are. Like, everyone's out there to get you. This is a PvP sport, but I mean, there's people doing illegal shit all the time. Like, you know, laws don't really stop criminals that don't necessarily care about the laws, and that's kind of a problem we have here in Canada too. And while we're talking about scams, this is something I want to bring up. Picoin is a scam, by the way, folks. I'm trying to get a video out before the launch on the 20th. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it for the 20th. I got so much on my plate here at the moment, but the major Pi Network achievement ahead of Open Network launch, well, let's talk about this. Pi Network's follower count on X has surged to 3.7 million, placing it among the top 5 most followed cryptos globally. The upcoming Open Network launch is set to make Pi tokens publicly tradable, with major exchanges like BitGet, OKX, and MEXC on board. There's a catch to this, though. The controversial crypto Pi Network has been around for almost 6 years, and it has done absolutely fucking nothing. It claims to allow people to mine digital assets directly from their smartphones, but its open mainnet and native tokens have yet to see the light of day, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it gets pushed back yet from the launch date. Despite the uncertainty, the project has amassed a multi-million community worldwide. In December last year, its application surpassed the major milestone of 100 million downloads, while countries like South Korea, Japan, India, China, Vietnam, and others have become strongholds. 3.7 million people now follow the project on X, thus it surpassed Ethereum's subscriber base, which has a similar count. And, you know, the whole thing about this is they're using FOMO to try to get you to give all of your KYC information to the company as soon as possible. But it's not going directly to the company. The company's onboarding individuals. Like I have a friend who was being one of the persons doing the KYC, which is kind of crazy to me. They just want your information, folks, and they're going to sell your information to the highest bidder. If this was actually made by Harvard graduates or whatever they're saying it is, these are smart people, right? They wouldn't take 6 years to implement stuff like this. You know what I mean? This gets a little deeper, though. This development, if it indeed goes live, will make Pi token publicly accessible by enabling exchanges to list it. But other exchanges like Bybit, for example, prefer not to interact with the Pi token. Stay away from it, the company's CEO, Ben Zhu, warned. And I'm also going to warn you, folks. You can't find any big YouTubers talking about Pi at all. And all of the comments in a lot of the videos, and I mean, most of these videos are also like lazy, shitty AI channels that really are just pushing Pi. They're like a whole network of AI channels. A lot of them are, even when you search Pi token scam on YouTube, they're like, oh yeah, it's a scam or whatever, except for it's not, because, you know, we're here promoting it. And a lot of these videos don't even have any real information. It's just a bunch of words with an AI voice. The AI wrote the script. The AI implemented all the stock footage, and they're just really garbage, waste of time videos. There are a couple videos out there where there's people from Africa that I've seen that are doing the videos explaining some stuff. But I mean, I really think what's going to happen here is people have been waiting so long for this, and the people in the comments are mainly people from poorer countries who are just waiting to sell to get any kind of money out of it. So, you know, a few people might make some money, but most people are going to get absolutely nothing except for all their identity stolen. So definitely expect to, if you did give your KYC information to Pi, to maybe have some trouble regarding identity theft in the future. Moving on here. Crypto influencer Ben Armstrong, also known as BitBoy, is missing among legal troubles and feud. Cassandra Wolf, Director of Marketing and Strategic Partnerships at BitBoy Crypto, has reported that Ben Armstrong, the platform's founder and well-known crypto influencer, is missing. Wolf urged anyone with information on his whereabouts to come forward. She has not seen Ben since he left his home the previous day. Everyone is worried sick. Armstrong alleged that the crypto media company Hit Network had been responsible for destroying his life over the past 18 months. He further accused Hit Network CEO TJ of having willfully targeted him. Ben Armstrong, widely recognized as BitBoy, further alleged that Shed was responsible for the breakup between him and Wolf. He says, "I'm willing to lose Cassie, my lawyers, my kids, my audience, my channel, and my life before I'm going to die without people knowing what actually happened." Armstrong's post has raised concerns and contributed to the growing alarm over his disappearance. In addition to losing much of his wealth and his well-known Lamborghini, he has also seen the downfall of his business. A lawsuit has been filed against the former graphic designer, alleging extortion, theft, sexual harassment, and incidents of workplace violence. The lawsuit claims he engaged in steroid abuse and threw protein shake bottles at employees, accusations which Ben denied. Additionally, in a series of social media posts and videos, Ben Armstrong alleged that he was the target of a criminal conspiracy orchestrated by terrorists who had seized control of his YouTube channel and declared BitBoy is dead. Now, I don't want to speculate or go too deep into this, but if y'all have been in crypto a little while, you may remember what happened with FTX. Even if you weren't in crypto at the time, you know, the FTX collapse was pretty huge. Well, BitBoy was actually one of the people, one of the only people that was in, I can't remember exactly where it was. It was like one of those islands in the Caribbean or something, as far as I remember. But he was there at Sam Bankman-Fried's hotel, trying to get him to come out, trying to get him to talk to him and stuff. And he was, you know, causing a lot of problems and heat for himself just because of what he was doing. You know, he wasn't really putting on a good look for him. And as far as I remember, he also ended up going outside of somebody's house because they apparently slandered him or something. I think it was another YouTuber, and he was outside their house threatening them or what have you. And I think he got arrested for that. And there's some actual video footage of that available if you search for it. So I think he's kind of caused a lot of his own problems here. But, you know, he is missing. That doesn't necessarily mean he's in danger, but it could mean he's in danger. He could have been kidnapped, or, you know, based on some of what this is saying, he may have gone and done something dumb. Who knows, really? But I guess time will tell. Moving on, we got a lot more to cover here today. Liquidity Protocol suffers 30 million of outflows after disclosing V2 bug. According to DeFi Lemma, Liquidity Protocol, an Ethereum-based lending platform, has suffered outflows worth approximately 30 million over the past 2 days. In a February 12th X post, Liquidity Protocol informed users that it was investigating a potential issue regarding its Liquidity v2 stability pools. To be on the safe side, the protocol advised users to close their earn positions. Liquidity said that v2 will be redeployed with a patch and an update will be sent to its official channels next week. Liquidity v2 launched less than a month ago. Its LUSD stablecoin has a market cap of $57 million. So some pretty big losses there, and a lot of FUD for their investors and their holders. So if you've been following the whole Bitcoin El Salvador thing, we did kind of touch on this a few days ago there, but Bitcoin is no longer legal currency in El Salvador. As El Salvador slowly submits to requests by the IMF, it has modified its laws to diminish Bitcoin's role in the economy. The need for US dollar financing has forced him, which they're talking about the president of El Salvador, to reverse most of his once celebrated policies. Bitcoin no longer is accepted for payment of taxes. Well, Bukele's administration has modified laws that enshrined Bitcoin's role as legal tender in the country's constitution, neutering the role of the world's foremost digital asset. Critically, the government deleted a provision in Article 4, which essentially is translated to all tax contributions may be paid in Bitcoin. So that is no longer valid. Despite the fact that the law, in theory, forced Bitcoin's acceptance, the rule was never actually enforced. This has led some Bitcoiners to speculate that it was never actually legal tender in the first place. So maybe let me know in the comments what you think. Was Bitcoin ever actually a legal tender in El Salvador? But although Bukele's administration has eliminated most of Bitcoin's qualities as a currency in the country, January 29th, 2025 revision maintains the capital gains exemption on transactions. Moreover, the government may still hold it as a reserve asset. So that's kind of interesting there. Bitcoin landfill saga continues as hard drive owner considers buying a UK garbage dump. A hard drive owner who misplaced his massive trove of Bitcoin in a UK landfill years ago is now considering purchasing the dumping ground as a means of recovering his funds. A Welshman who lost his Bitcoin stash worth a staggering $800 million after accidentally throwing away his storage wallet is considering acquiring the landfill after the UK government rejected his bid to search it. Reports indicate that in 2013, Howells threw away the hard drive in a black plastic trash bag, thinking it was blank. However, the hard drive not only contained $9 million worth of Bitcoin at the time, it also had a record of his private keys, which are obviously needed to access the wallets. In 2021, Howells offered the Newport City Council $70 million for permission to dig up the site, but he was rejected. In January of this year, a judge dismissed his attempts to force the council to allow him to comb through the area due to environmental concerns. The landfill has been in exploitation since the early 2000s and is coming to the end of its life. Therefore, the council is working on a planned closure and capping of the site over the next 2 years. To touch on this, maybe it could be a different landfill that I heard about because this was a little while ago, but I remember hearing a story where this Bitcoin landfill debacle, someone actually realized that it wasn't Bitcoin, it was like Litecoin instead, so the gains that they thought they had weren't near even close to what they predicted. But I believe that they did do some digging in a landfill at one point, so maybe this is like a whole different debacle, because I believe that other one was in the States, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. Nonetheless, this may be related to that, or it could be a misinformation regarding that. Now, here's an article that states 5 cryptos that you should sell this Sunday to avoid $1 million losses. I've also heard some speculation saying that the rise in XRP that's happening right now is just a fake out, and by Sunday it's gonna crash again a little bit, and it's gonna take a lot of gains out of people's wallets. So definitely something to pay attention to, although XRP isn't mentioned in this particular article. That was just on one of the forums I was reading. But this week, altcoins like Solana, Trump, Doge, WLD, and Picoin, and a few others face similar threats, which is why investors should consider all of these cryptos to sell. Solana is among the top altcoins and the epicenter of the meme coin mania, obviously, right? But the Libra token scam that we talked about earlier in the episode, and other tokens' downfalls are ruining its reputation. Similar allegations have been made due to Pump.Fund scams, and the lawsuit that's going on, and the mass production of Solana meme-themed cryptocurrencies that lack any utility. A prominent crypto influencer believes Solana is becoming an extraction chain before claiming it has no future due to its diminishing long-term prospects. That's a pretty interesting thing to say because, we keep hearing stories of people getting rugged on Solana left and right. And they're making literally millions of tokens like it's breaking records, and there's nothing even coming close to it. Other tokens are like a small percentage, like 1% or less of what the amount of tokens that Solana is pumping out. It's absolutely bananas. Of course, Picoin, it's a scam. We talked a little bit about this in the last episode and earlier in this episode, but Picoin is among the most common choices for the crypto investors to sell because of the scam speculation. So critics question its tangible value, especially as it's due for crypto exchange listings. More importantly, Pi itself lacks tangible value. And you may see Pi being traded as an IOU currently. That is not going to hold up as soon as people get their hands on it, because I believe it was saying there's 100 million app downloads, and I think they got like 10 million Pioneers KYC verified, which is their goal before the mainnet launch. So when 10 million people try to dump this token, the IOU's price doesn't really mean shit anymore, right? Like it's just going to tank, in my opinion. It's questionable monetization and reliance on user data, which is what I was mentioning earlier. They just want your data. It's like, hurry up, FOMO in. You're going to miss out. You're going to lose your Pi if you don't give us your KYC information right away. But it makes it a concerning investment. This is why investors must cautiously approach this coin or could consider selling it. Well, obviously people are going to dunk, right? Trump coin. Trump is the official cryptocurrency of the US president, obviously, right? But it's been pumping if you haven't been watching. Although the token's demand and hype grew to the roof moments after its launch, the ongoing price crash presents the opposite picture, with a lot of controversy around a president launching a volatile asset. The Trump organization and its affiliate controlling most of the supply, pushing into the volatility trap. But you know what? It's actually pumping, like I said, right now at the moment. I think it's up like 36 or 40% last I checked before I went live here. So it's kind of been one of those ones where it's up and down. And if you're, a confident trader, you can definitely make some money there. But apparently people are saying it's going to drop for Sunday. And I find Sunday is often the best day to set your recurring buys if you're doing dollar cost averaging. Because for some reason, and I've been in crypto a long time, 2017 is when I really started getting serious, but I was into crypto even before that, learning the ropes. And Sunday always seems to be a day where you get the best buy-ins for whatever crypto that it happens to be that you're choosing to buy. And I don't know why. There could be something deeper to that, but that's what I would recommend. Now we'll talk about WorldCoin. WLD gained popularity due to its connection with OpenAI founder Sam Altman and its vision of global identity verification. Ugh, scary shit there. However, since its launch, privacy concerns and data collection practices have resulted in its volatile performance. Moreover, its 90% crash from its prime raises more concerns, especially as it continuously unlocks new tokens. Now, Dogecoin. Doge is among the top meme coins and relies on social media hype and celebrity endorsement to rally. However, this is also its fundamental weakness, as it lacks utility and it struggles to perform, often despite the heavy demand. Not to mention, the $3.75 million token unlocks daily adds to its volatility, which is why investors must consider this crypto to sell this Sunday. But from what I'm hearing, and I'm pretty sure I got an article on this a little bit later on in the episode here, but Dogecoin is being looked at for an ETF, so we will talk about that here in a few minutes. Bullish flag spotted on the XLM chart. Price targets 180. And before I started this episode, XLM was like 37 cents, I believe. So this could be some serious gains here if this holds true. XRP's rival, now we'll get into this. I don't think it's a rival, but XRP's rival, XLM, is staging a bullish movement, preparing for a breakout. XLM is forming a bullish flag with a potential breakout targeting $1.80. This pattern is formed when an asset's price begins to consolidate after a sharp rise before targeting a further rise. During that consolidation, the market takes a breather and traders start withdrawing their profits. Martinez expects XLM to start breaking out soon. Some in the comment thread pointed out that XLM is tied to XRP. It's not really its rival when it comes to market movements. On Friday, following XRP's 10% rise triggered by the SEC acknowledging the XRP ETF and Doge ETF filings submitted by Grayscale, XLM demonstrated an increase of more than 8%. So they're pretty tied closely together, if you ask me. Stellar was founded in 2014. Now, this is interesting information. I didn't actually know this, but I've been around. I started in crypto in 2014 myself. But by Ripple's co-founder and its former CTO, Jed McCaleb, who also created the platform that later became famous as Mt. Gox. Most people these days in crypto don't know what Mt. Gox is. I was there for that whole collapse. I wasn't really involved too much, but that's when I was really getting into the research and stuff, and it was ridiculous. It was my first thing of like, holy crap. This whole system might collapse, it might not be legitimate and so on and so forth, because a lot of people lost their shirts with that. But Jed McCaleb chose to leave Ripple over certain disagreements with the company's management back then regarding the path it should take in the future. While Ripple and XRP are focused on transnational payments for banks and financial institutions, Stellar targets the same direction for retail and unbanked users. So Stellar's going to be more like person to person, retail, not the big institutions. For his contribution as Ripple's co-founder and CTO, McCaleb received 4.7 billion XRP, which he gradually sold between 2014 and 2022. Fuck, did he miss out, huh? He did it in small amounts, though, to avoid crashing the XRP price. So, I mean, that's pretty cool of him. Let's talk about this here a little bit. Bitcoin's realized cap hits a record high. Is a bull run on the way? So my highlighting went off here. We're just going to get through this one as quick as possible. Bitcoin's realized cap has reached unprecedented levels, signaling increased long-term investor confidence. Estimated leverage across exchanges is rising sharply, increasing the potential for liquidation and driven volatility. So apparently, the realized cap has surged to an all-time high, so it's a strong accumulation phase, and it suggests the market is absorbing Bitcoin at higher valuations. So this trend typically is a precursor to long-term bullish price action. I mean, we are in a bull market, so that's kind of obvious. I don't think there's too much more to talk about here. Oh yes, Solana's Pump.Fun daily trading volume plummets by 50% from January's peak. Again, not a whole lot to talk about here, but it has experienced a significant decline in daily trading volume, and its trading volume hit 270 million on February 13th, down approximately 50% from its 544 million peak. So that's kind of nuts. Is this, maybe foreshadowing what's to come? Because from what I've heard, and again, we talked about this in the last crypto news segment I did, but a lot of traders are moving from Solana to BNB, and I mean, the XRP meme coin space is absolutely fucking exploding right now. So, there may be better options, and with all the rug pulls and people being scared essentially of getting rugged or have been rugged and they're kind of looking for better options, a lot of people are flooding out of Solana. So Weiss issues an XRP warning. According to the agency, a favorable regulatory shift does not suddenly create a strong use case for the token. Now, I think this article is a little bit of FUD. So as reported by You Today, the U.S. Securities SEC basically has now acknowledged multiple XRP exchange-traded funds, which are ETF proposals, right, which we talked about a little bit. This could potentially be a watershed moment for the token, which might enjoy broader institutional acceptance in the near future. The odds of an XRP ETF being greenlit in 2025 have now surged to nearly 80%. A few days ago, it was either earlier in the week or end of last week, XRP ETF was among the least likely to get accepted, but now we're obviously quite high on the list there. However, Weiss Crypto has noted that the limited utility of the XRP token has been a fundamental issue for the token since its inception. I don't think this guy knows anything about what he's talking about because, I mean, XRPL has incredible utility. Everything's happening. People are building on XRPL. I mean, a lot of people just don't realize what's actually happening there. So, I mean, I think it's just FUD, like I said. And if you're in that position of XRP doesn't have any utility, you got to get on the XRPL. And the easiest way to do that, the best way to do that, in my opinion, check out www.quantzilla online. Check out our meme coin with utility. We got tokenized real world assets. We got a great community, and that can be a great intro to the madness that's happening on the XRPL. Stablecoins won, apparently, because the legislation will soon codify that victory in the U.S. XRP is drawing dead, as stablecoins grew 2 orders of magnitude during the SEC battles. The whole XRP, Ripple, SEC court case is nonsense. It's a fake court case. It's bullshit. Gary Gensler used to be teaching at MIT about crypto, and he knows exactly what he was doing. Gary Gensler smells. And that's one of our Quantzilla memes, by the way, folks. So you got to join our Telegram and check it out. Now, how a hold above $18 could help Chainlink price hit $34. It'd be nice to see some price movement in the right direction with Chainlink for sure. Chainlink sits above a 3-day time frame support, showing potential for a rebound grows as price continues to hold above the $18 key level. If Link successfully retests this zone, a move towards $34 could be in play, but failure to hold above it could spark further decline. I don't think we're going to go too much lower, if at all, with Chainlink, especially with the broader market moving up. But if that other article we were talking about where this Sunday is going to be a bloodbath again holds true, then, maybe we'll see more decline. Chainlink is a strong project, though. Link among top 100 coins by gains in the last 90 days as the monthly users of Link has been growing steadily as per token terminal. Link has gained more than 37% in the last 3 months, positioning it among altcoins with huge potential in case an alt season materializes in the first quarter of the year that would potentially run into the beginning of Q2. Now, in the last episode, we were also touching on how Q1 and Q3 are usually not the best in terms of, momentum and price action. So you kind of got to plan what you're doing when you're launching coins. If you're launching in those quarters, it's maybe not the best. Q2 and Q4 are probably a little bit better. So maybe we're not going to see an altcoin season in Q1, but that happens to line up with Q2 materializing with XRP's previous 2017 rally, which apparently is going to align with May into June. So we should see a huge second run up, not just with XRP, but I would say probably the whole market around that time. And speculation is saying, and I mean, this is based on technical analysis and previous data. History doesn't repeat itself necessarily, but it often rhymes. It's going to have a lull through the summer, and then into October, November type of thing is when we're going to see the full blow off top of this bull market before we cool off into another bear market for quite some time. So Vitalik, he's arguing for 10 times the gas limit hike on Ethereum. Again, not a whole lot to talk about here, but apparently this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Now, I really dislike Ethereum. The fees are crazy when, the market's really hot, and Ethereum has been, with, the way that you can interact with contracts, there's a lot of scams, and there's also the dusting attacks, both with NFTs and coins. Ethereum has been kind of, in the limelight for sure. It has done a lot of innovation and stuff, but it's definitely not my favorite. It's way too expensive, and it's too slow. But he said, even if most of the usage and applications are on layer 2 chains, there's still value in scaling the layer 1 significantly. Less than 2 weeks ago, Ethereum validators increased the gas limit by 20%. So Buterin said he's arguing for or against having more applications on Ethereum mainnet. Rather, the benefits of a gas limit increase would be improved censorship resistance and lower costs. So it means that you can fit more transactions and more complex transactions in each block. Doing so would lead to lower transaction fees. So apparently, though, that's going to lead to larger node requirements essentially. So it leads to more centralization because smaller nodes are going to drop out. XRP has the opportunity to scale to way more transactions a second than it's doing now, which will increase the price of transactions a little bit. But I see these people saying, "Oh, we can do 16,000 transactions a second or whatever." It's like, okay, great. XRP is not doing that at the moment, but it can scale to more than that. So, I mean, if you're not watching XRP, or if you're XRP fudder and you're shitting on XRP all the time, I would definitely look into it. It's definitely there's some crazy shit happening on the XRPL. I am an XRP maxi, but I like to have a wide array of investments. I'm not all about one thing. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. And I also like to touch on the broader crypto market because it's really all related. So apparently, the altcoin market has experienced the largest devaluation in history. Should we even expect an altcoin season? Again, this might be like touching on a little bit of FUD, but I think it's worth mentioning. The Bitcoin market remains relatively stable despite a deep correction at the beginning of last week. Meanwhile, the altcoin sector is experiencing an extremely difficult period. Let's examine whether an alt season is still possible under the current market conditions. Macroeconomic factors are the main reason for the increased volatility in the market. In particular, the dynamics of cryptos were negatively affected by the tariffs on imports of goods from Canada, Mexico, and China proposed by Trump. However, against the background of these events, Bitcoin demonstrated relative stability. In contrast to the stable Bitcoin, though, altcoins face serious problems. This indicates that investors were massively selling altcoins at the same time. Therefore, many tokens failed to avoid general volatility and move independently of each other. As I was touching on in the last episode, or a couple of episodes ago, though, if you look at that crazy drop we had, what was that, about a week and a half ago with XRP, it wasn't just XRP that dropped, and it was like a 15-minute candle where it went 40% down or something. It was like one of the biggest sell-offs in such a short period on record. And that was market manipulation, folks. People had buy order set. Whales were involved. Insider trading is absolutely happening. And we're in the Wild West here, Moving on here. Best altcoins to buy in February. Stellar, Theta, or Remedix. I'm not really familiar with Remedix. I know a little bit about Theta. And obviously Stellar is one of the three that are about to change the world, right? You got XRP, XDC, and Stellar Lumens. So definitely watch those ones. But which one of these is currently tipped for 50x gains among crypto investors? Well, I think this is just a plug for Remedix, so I'm not going to go through that too much. I just want to touch on a few things here, but Remedix apparently stands out because of its revolutionary method of fusing crypto with conventional finance. XLM and its role in cross-border payments, well, here's why this is important, right? Decentralized XLM network enables direct financial institution and individual connectivity through its protocol. Now, I don't think XLM is going to be used in institutions, right? XLM is going to be like retail and peer-to-peer, whereas XDC is supposed to be business to business, as far as I understand, and XRP is going to be like your institutional and international transfer. So XLM obtains partnerships with major financial entities because of its cross-border payment capabilities, which include IBM and MoneyGram. Newer blockchain solutions, together with regulatory barriers, may affect the sustained growth of Stellar, though. So Theta, if you're not familiar with Theta, it's a video streaming industry, and it's getting disrupted essentially through the Theta network because it implements blockchain technology to establish a peer-to-peer content distribution platform. The network distribution runs using two separate tokens named Theta and T-Fuel. The project encounters two primary obstacles, though, because network scalability remains limited while traditional streaming services act as competitors. But traditional streaming services are kind of fucking themselves because, like, now it's like, you know, you got to pay for this streaming service to get that show, and like, you know, you got to get Disney to get Simpsons now or whatever it is. Like, so it's essentially just coming full circle back to cable TV, where you have to pay for different packages that you want, and that's really going to put a hit on traditional mainstream streaming services. So there is going to be a hole to fill, and things like Theta might just fill that gap, right? And I mean, a lot of people have gone back to pirating stuff, which is kind of crazy. I didn't even know the Pirate Bay was still active, and I was told recently apparently the Pirate Bay is still active. I thought that all got shut down years ago. Anyways, a little bit about Remedix here. The game changer for crypto and traditional finance, apparently. Remedix directly addresses one of crypto's biggest pain points, bridging digital assets with traditional banking. Now, I'm pretty sure that's what XRP is supposed to be doing. But anyways, Remedix allows users to transform more than 40 cryptos into fiat before making direct bank account transfers without using costly Western Union type services. That sounds like what XRP is designed to do. So I'm not sure. I think this article is just a plug for Remedix, and I'm not really sure if this is like actual information or if it's just like, you know, burying an ad within an article. I hate that shit. So Ripple open interest, I don't know why they say Ripple and XRP, it's actually XRP open interest, right? But it nears $4 billion as the SEC acknowledgement sparks 20% price rally. XRP's price surged 7% on Friday, and as much as like, you know, between 12 and 20% over the last couple of days. I mean, it was up 11% before I started this live. It's amid bullish sentiment fueled by the SEC's acknowledgement of Grayscale's XRP and Dogecoin ETF filings. See, that's weird because we just had an article there a little while back talking about Dogecoin being one of the ones you want to sell, yet there's incredibly bullish news that isn't FUD that's saying Dogecoin's filing an ETF. With open interest lurking below $4 billion, bull traders are eyeing a potential retest of the $3 territory. And I mean, we almost hit that earlier on. Let me just jump back here real quick to XRP. What are we at? We're at 283 right now, right? So we're like right there anyways. Where are we here now? Oh, we get past this. Okay, here we are. So the SEC acknowledged Grayscale's filings for XRP and Dogecoin spot ETFs. This move, though procedural, signals a possible shift in regulatory attitude towards the altcoin-based exchange-traded funds, analysts say. Under former SEC chair Gary Gensler smells like poo, by the way, the agency swiftly dismissed similar filings, citing concerns over market integrity. The news propelled XRP's price to a 7% intraday rally, pushing its market cap to $157.8 billion. The token now hovers near a critical resistance level, with bullish momentum sustaining hopes for a continued uptrend. XRP's open interest has been steadily climbing, suggesting that leveraged trading are positioning for more gains. With growing optimism surrounding regulatory approvals and sustained institutional interest, XRP appears poised for further upside in the coming days. Following the breakout, XRP rallied 20% in 4 days, a sign of strengthening bullish sentiment. The current consolidation above 270 suggests a potential reaccumulation phase before another leg higher. Oh, we're going higher. When that switch flips, it's going to be overnight, folks. XRP to 3 digits? The signs that could confirm it, basketball analyst says. A lighthearted tweet about Kansas State University financial situation has spurred new conversations on XRP's aspirational pricing goals. The analyst wrote on X, if XRP hits $100, there will be signs. This is obviously a play on a well-known trend in the crypto world where investors joke about the expensive purchases they will make if their holdings reach high prices. Her tweet showed a mock-up of Kansas State's football field carrying her name, implying she will sponsor it should XRP reach 3-digit levels. Reality check, the XRP $100 dream. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this once I read this paragraph here, but the obsession of the crypto community on XRP approaching $100 exposes both ambition and a disconnection from reality on the market. This is FUD, folks. Although some aficionados cite Ripple's growing alliance and possible institutional involvement as encouraging signs, the data tells another tale. XRP would need a market cap of around $5.78 trillion to hit $100, more than the value of the entire cryptocurrency industry, and this astronomical figure raises serious questions about the feasibility of such predictions. I'm going to tell you straight up, market cap, it's an illusion. Price is a distraction. And once the utility sets in play, I mean, the research is out there, right? Not everybody's able to know it. Not everybody's able to find it, but Crypto Hulk is the one here doing these deep dives, and he's able to pull up this information. And I'm sure he's not the only one, but Ripple has payment rails set up for basically every country, like, over 10 years ago, some 11 years ago. They're involved with a bunch of banks, and we talked about in one of my past episodes here. Bank of America is using XRP 100% exclusively for all their internal transactions. If that doesn't turn some heads, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, this is kind of just FUD. $100 is nothing, especially when you start thinking about, XRP's poised to be the one tokenizing all of the assets in the world, not just finance, like not just money. It's going to start tokenizing everything. When you start taking those numbers into account, that's somewhere in the ballpark of $4 to $6 quadrillion from what I've heard. So when you start running those numbers, the price of XRP is going to be a lot higher than $100. Like $100 is conservative. Now that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to do that this bull run. Although in my personal opinion, I don't like to speculate too much. I think $100 is absolutely possible before the end of this year. Moving on here, we got a bunch more to cover. We've already been going for 45 minutes, which is incredible. But the SEC acknowledges Grayscale's XRP ETF filing. Will this push XRP to $3? Well, according to its filing, Grayscale seeks to convert its XRP trust, which currently has 12.8 million in assets under management, into a spot ETF. Other potential issuers who filed similar applications like Canary Fund, 21 Shares, Wisdom Tree, and Bitwise are expected to get similar sign-offs too. As far as the standard procedure is concerned, the regulator could take another 240 days, though, to approve or deny the product's entry into the market. And a person here states, shocked that more people aren't talking about the SEC accepting the XRP ETF filing. They have open litigation with Ripple. Meanwhile, they just acknowledged filing of ETF holding assets in dispute. They easily could have rejected this filing. This is an enormous message, and it absolutely is. No, it doesn't mean automatic approval, another person says. So why is this notable? Because it means the SEC is being more open-minded and not flat out refusing to consider these products. Issuers withdrew their sole ETF application in December after the previous SEC chair wouldn't engage with them. What this means is that there has been a shift in the attitudes of the regulator recently. Obviously, I mean, if you've been paying attention to the news, you see what's going on, right? More and more people are optimistic too. In fact, Polymarket's approval odds for an XRP ETF in 2025 have risen to 80% in the last 30 days. Moving on here, trying to finish this up before we hit an hour. We might actually go long, but that's all right. Ripple's price explodes to 2-week high, and here's why. While XRP's market cap soared above 160 billion, thus solidifying the asset as the third biggest in the entire crypto market. And XRP has basically never left the top 10, so anybody fudding XRP is kind of ridiculous. XRP has never actually really gone down either. They did have an issue, what was that, about a week ago now, where it didn't validate transactions for like 46 minutes or something. And that's just because not everything was under consensus, and it didn't want to process transactions that weren't agreed upon to essentially cause an issue later on. It didn't go down necessarily, like Solana goes down all the time. Just saying. XRP briefly surpassed $2.80, driven by the SEC's acknowledgement of the ETF. Analysts predict further gains with targets ranging from $2.94 to over $3 if the price maintains momentum above key support levels. The SEC officially received the application and started a formal review, which usually lasts up to 240 days. In the end, the watchdog must either approve or deny the ETF filings. And I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to get approved. We got crypto common sense people in power now. A potential green light would give investors additional options to gain exposure to XRP's price movements, providing a level of protection and oversight. It also removes the burden of having to buy, store, or secure the crypto directly. So, it allows people who really don't understand crypto or don't want to take the time to understand wallets and all this other stuff to get into cryptocurrency. Crypto pundit reignites a $100 XRP price target. What you should know. See, so we had some fun in the last one about, oh, XRP can't reach those targets, but yet another person here is saying, and I like to do this kind of, different opinions because it just gives you some perspective here. Don't believe everything you read. Crypto pundit Andre Geek has reignited the $100 XRP price target, sparking a bullish sentiment in the XRP community. The analyst outlined several factors that could contribute to the parabolic rally to the ambitious $100 target. In a YouTube video, Geek highlighted a potential end to Ripple's SEC lawsuit as one of the factors that could spark the price rally to $100 target. He cited the SEC's removal of the Ripple case from its website, which is quite important, which indicates that legal pressure is easing. The Commission's agreement with Binance to pause their ongoing legal battle has also sparked optimism that the Ripple lawsuit could soon end, and I'm pretty sure they also put a pause on the Coinbase litigation that's going on. I think that's for 60 days as well, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a NASDAQ report stating that 80% of Japanese banks, this is huge folks, are set to adopt XRP for global payments. This move will cause adoption to skyrocket, which could contribute to the projected rally to $100. The potential approval of the XRP ETFs, as we talked about, has another factor that could drive XRP price to the $100 target. He noted how the Bitcoin price surged to new highs after the Bitcoin ETFs were approved. Now you start putting all these pieces together, the potential is quite endless. Another factor is Ripple's payment system replacing SWIFT. He highlighted how the global payments industry is worth trillions of dollars. As such, Ripple processing a huge chunk of these global payments could cause XRP's utility and demand to skyrocket, ultimately impacting its price. The XRPL and Ripple's RLUSD are factors that could contribute to the XRP price rally to 100. And again, you start putting all these pieces together, $100 seems conservative. He noted that the XRPL processes around 1,500 transactions, making it a potential option for tokenization plans, which is bullish for the asset. If the XRPL becomes a go-to platform for tokenizing real-world assets such as stocks and bonds, this will help drive demand up and make the crypto more valuable. The RLUSD stablecoin is also bullish for XRP as its burn mechanism helps remove XRP from circulation as its utility grows. Every time there's a transaction on the XRPL, it burns some XRP, reducing its supply, increasing its overall value. Although it's not much because the transaction fees are super, super cheap. The possibility of Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse being on the White House Crypto Advisory Council also, this is especially bullish for XRP because Garlinghouse being on the council could cement its place in the newly created US Sovereign Wealth Fund. Again, put all these pieces together, $100 to me seems absolutely conservative. When the switch flips, it's going to switch overnight and people are going to be priced out right away. It's going to be what the hell just happened? Other people are going to be woohoo, Moving on here, a few more things to talk about. Analysts predict a breakout to 585 and beyond for XRP. XRP's volume has jumped 63% to 8.79 billion, which means a strong bullish sentiment. CoinGlass data shows a 10% increase in XRP futures open interest, suggesting that investors are betting on further upside. Analysts believe breaking key resistance could open the door for even bigger gains. Dark Defender has identified 290 as a crucial breakout point, predicting that if XRP surpasses, it could surge to 585. I think we're at that 290 level right now. We were a little bit. We dropped down a little bit. We're 278 right now. We're right there. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Egreg Crypto highlights 294 as another key barrier, suggesting that once crossed, the next targets would be 322 and 340. On the top, Ali Martinez also emphasizes the importance of holding above 230 as it would keep the bullish momentum intact. And I don't see us going below 230, but then again, anything could happen. So an expert sets XRP's price path to $12.50. These prices just keep going up and up and up as we go through these articles here. It's kind of crazy, right? XRP targets reclaiming the $3 spot. The asset's current trading pattern resembles a historical movement that points to a potential upside of about 350%. XRP is appearing to follow a pattern that echoes its historic 2017 rally, which saw the crypto skyrocket over 1,300% in multiple phases. Now, if this pattern plays out, it could set the stage for an even larger breakout, potentially pushing XRP's price to $12.50 in 2025. Again, I think that's super conservative. Things are going to go, I believe, a lot higher, but I don't like to speculate too much. Some Cardano news that might interest y'all. Cardano Lace Wallet ends the PGP encryption challenge. Now, here's an unexpected outcome. I don't really think it's unexpected, though, to be honest, because it even goes to say that it's not. Cardano Lace Wallet security challenge has ended after 6 months. During this time, no hacker has successfully penetrated the security of the PGP encrypted paper wallet. This outcome marks a significant milestone for Cardano and the broader blockchain ecosystem. Hoskinson announced a $1 million bounty reward for anyone who could hack the protocol's flagship Lace paper wallet. The program was scheduled to run until the end of 2024 or until someone eventually broke through the wallet's defense. This was Hoskinson's way of establishing the superiority of the security system embedded in the non-custodial wallet. Hoskinson said, if you can hack it, you can keep it. With the combination of encryption and a user-friendly design, the Cardano Lace Paper wallet offers a secure and simple option for users to manage their assets. The wallet can be restored using an encrypted QR code. This improves security by necessitating possession of the QR code for access. The latest outcome from the encryption challenge announced by Hoskinson underscores the wallet's strong security. Interesting stuff, folks. Bullish, bullish, bullish for Cardano. Alex Becker is going to have a field day with that one. Now, Cardano whales apparently are to the rescue because they're accumulating 136 million worth of ADA. Now, Cardano whales have accumulated over 170 million ADA in 5 days, signaling optimism and potential for a price rally. Addresses holding between 10 million and 100 million Cardano have added over 170 million, I should say, Cardano, worth near $136 million in just 5 days. These whales have seized the opportunity to accumulate at low prices, showing optimism for a recovery. Their confidence in the future price movement could provide critical support for ADA's price. The whale activity indicates that a portion of the investor base remains bullish. I think Cardano's in a bullish phase as it is. Final article for today, and it's just a quick one here. It's talking about the 7 truths Bitcoin can open your eyes to. The person underneath here is saying it's not necessarily true. I just think it's some interesting points to consider if you're a crypto investor. And it doesn't necessarily just apply to Bitcoin either, but nobody can change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. Bitcoin produces a real change in everyone's mindset, which spreads through you like a virus. Bitcoin opens your eyes to the flaws of the fiat system. Now, does that ever ring true? Bitcoin positively changes your relationship with mass consumerism. Bitcoin isn't just money, it's a mindset. A certain vision of the world. Bitcoin gives you access to real ownership. And finally, taking full advantage of the Bitcoin revolution means putting your ego aside. Once you've understood the why of Bitcoin, nothing will ever be the same again. Bitcoin doesn't really have utility though, so keep that in mind, folks. With that being said, I want to give a shout out to everybody watching here. Thank you for tuning in today. Make sure you follow me on YouTube at KhaosDubz. If you're watching on X, make sure you hit that follow button. We're going to be doing more X spaces. Make sure you check out www.quantzilla.online. Check out our meme coin with utility. Head over to Deck Screener. Give us a hit on that rocket every day. You can do it once a day, and it helps us out. You've got to check out our project, folks. You don't have to invest in it, but I definitely suggest at least reading over our documentation. Again, www.quantzilla.online. If you're not familiar with the XRPL, it's a great way to get yourself introduced, get your feet wet, and see what you're missing, because the XRPL is on fire right now. With that being said, I appreciate y'all watching. I have to go run off. I got an event to do here later today, so take care. Bless and love. Bless and love.